Today's tea selection is Tazo glazed lemon loaf with a dash of honey at the bottom. I also have by my side chocolate fudge Pop-Tarts, because Pop-Tarts are apparently part of my thing now. I have already finished one, so we're saving the other one for as we're going. Other than that, it's a little quiet today. So today's live stream is going to be on the shorter end because I have someplace that I got to be at 3 o'clock. And today is just going to be a vibe while drawing type of sitch. There's not really a whole ton for me to talk about. The only exception being there is a crowdfunding campaign that is launching tomorrow for Failure to Launch, a comics anthology. I did a short story for it. Very excited about it. I don't have a link for it yet. As soon as I get a link, the link that I have for it kind of technically works, but the campaign's not live yet. As soon as it's live, the link will work. That's the situation. As soon as the campaign is live, I can start sharing the link. Just keep an eye on my website. Put that on the bottom of the screen here. Keep an eye on my website, kelseydcrawford.com, for more information on that. I will be doing a blog post about it as soon as it's live. And once it's live, be sure to click on my link because it's a referral. We are keeping track of where pledges are coming from for this particular campaign. For this particular comics anthology that I made a short story for, Failure to Launch is being put out by Iron Circus Comics. Heck yes. It's been a dream of mine to want to do something with Iron Circus. So I'm really excited about this particular anthology. And I'm so glad that they liked my pitch and they let me make it. The short story that I did is called Ninit E, or The End. It's a semi-autobiographical comic about my time in Navajo Nation, while at the same time, the Harold Camping rapture prediction becomes not quite mainstream, but enough of a problem for people to start to focus on the end of days. The entire theme for Failure to Launch is like prophecies, predictions, inventions, and anything in between. Things and ideas that people had about the future that just didn't quite pan out. So I figured Ninity would be a perfect fit for an anthology, and it turns out that it was. There's other short stories in the anthology as well. All of that will be detailed in the campaign page once it goes live tomorrow. Keep an eye on kelseydcrawford.com for more information. Link is in the doobly-doo. Today, I am going to be drawing a commission to start. This, I'm going to add it here real quick. There we go. This is a commission from my buddy Lynn. Thank you, Lynn, for commissioning me to draw this character. This is Shanaira from their D&D campaign. Very delighted to work on it. At this point, the inks are all done. All that's left is the colors, because in the commission, they requested that this piece be colored. So we're going to add colors today. If we get to drawing anything else, I do have an idea for a Kitties by Kelsey design that I would like to get to. We'll see if we get to it today. Again, today's stream is going to be short because I got someplace that I got to be in the afternoon. So this stream will likely only be like an hour long, probably, maybe an hour and a half. But I think I'm just going to keep it to an hour so that I got plenty of time to have like a proper lunch before going off to do the thing that I got to take care of at 3 o'clock today. To make up for it, and also to test something new, I will be doing another live stream Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. More information will be on my YouTube channel, link in the doobly-doo if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching this on Twitch or Twitter, just head over to kelseydcrawford.com. More information there. Okay, let's get to coloring this. But before I get to coloring this, I got to get the notes for this particular character because it's been a hot second since I looked at the notes from the commissioner. Again, this is a commissioned piece. Oh, excuse me. It's cold today. My nose is a little runny. It's going to make recording for the podcast later this afternoon real fun. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's going to be here. Huh, interesting. Oh, okay. Woo. I was very concerned for a second. I opened up one sheet and it didn't have the information there, but I opened up another one and the information was in the second file. Whew. Okay. Touch veins, beautiful. Waist length, silvery white hair. Got it. Okay. And blue eyes. Silvery white hair and blue eyes. We'll go ahead and take care of those descriptors first. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. All right. So blue eyes. Well, let's do this shade of blue. I mean, it's a small detail, but it's there. And zoom out a little bit so that we can see the hair. Because the hair is going to be a silvery white. This I might need to do a little bit of color blending for this one. Hold on a sec. Hey. What? What? I don't know what you're trying to communicate, honey. Oh, Bree wants her food. But the little man is not in timeout, which means he is liable to bully Bree away from her food. And if he does that, he will eat it, and he's not supposed to eat it because he's not a little old lady. He is a tiny little man. Tiny little mans don't need to eat little old lady food. If you don't know what I'm talking about my cats. All right, hold on. Right. Oh. Ugh. It's fine. Gave me a second to get a tissue anyway. Ugh. Okay. All right. I did a little color blend for a proper kind of silver tone. Let's see how that. Okay. This might be one of those things that I work with a highlighting situation to get the particular colors that I want for silvery white hair. There we go. Am I using the paint bucket tool? Yes. Do I have any shame about it? No. Because honestly, the paint bucket tool makes doing any kind of digital work so much faster. almost forgot. I also have OBS open in another window. Embrace the bucket. Yes, indeed, Gary. I shall embrace the bucket. I almost forgot to turn on OBS, aka Open Broadcast Software. I think that's what it stands for, or Open Broadcast Studio. But either way, OBS, very handy tool for recording time lapses. If you saw my most recent vlog, the footage of the art process in that video was recorded with OBS. Okay, so we got the silver hair and the blue eyes. The hair, we're going to add some highlighting and shadows later to really give it that silvery pop, but we're doing flat colors currently. Also, glad to see Chloe and Gary hanging out in the comments. Thanks for hanging out with me. Today's live stream is going to be on the shorter end because I got someplace that I got to be later this afternoon. But thank you for hanging out with me. Probably going to wrap it up around 2 o'clock just to give you the heads up. I will be doing another live stream Tuesday at 6 o'clock at night, Eastern Standard. I'm giving that a test. I haven't done late night weekday streams before, and I'm going to give that a shot and see what the engagement is like. Hold on. Okay. Pale skin. Her favorite colors are shades of blue and lavender. Okay. Ooh. I'm going to go into subview and we're going to open up. I actually have a little file that I keep with the Legend of Jamie Roberts. I'll show this in a sec. It's color palettes or color swatches. These in the upper right corner are my shorthand colors for like super quick references. The top bundle of colors are my skin tones, so the middle bundles are hair colors, and then the bottom ones are my go-to colors for costumes in The Legend of Jamie Roberts for the background characters. For this one, we're going to go with the skin tone swatches up along the top. Boop. Here we go. Honestly, having like immediate color swatches to reference has been a game changer. So has having the subview being open. That has been a huge game changer for me. Holy crap. Shout out to the Starfish Face for introducing me to that little trick. If my microphone is picking up scratching noises, that is the cats. They are being very antsy today, and I apologize for that. There we go. Okay. Now shades of lavender. I have an idea for a shade of lavender. There. And there we go. Purple gloves. Purple gloves. Says something about a bard who wears purple gloves. Like you do. Well, I'll have them purple for now, but likely they're going to change into a shade of blue. No need to apologize for cats being cats. This is true. Cats will be cats. Mm. There, that makes a little bit more sense for layering purposes. Okay. Today's Pop-Tart selection is chocolate fudge. I toasted these with the toaster not that long ago, but they are starting to cool off a bit. Already finished one. Second one has not been bitten into yet. Getting there though. Okay. Yeah, let's change the color of the gloves, methinks. A little more blue, less gray. I was just thinking about, like, you know, dye jobs as far as costuming goes. It's a little easier and makes more sense for gloves to be blue rather than purple, particularly in a fantasy setting. So that's what we're going to do. At least for now. For now. All colors are subject to change on a whim, especially if Lynn is hanging out in the comments and lurking. Only apologize if you refuse to show cats on the screen. We'll see. We'll see. Right now they're not within like easy grabbing reach to put up on camera, but if they get within reach, I'm definitely putting them on screen. Got to pay the cat tax after all. Ooh, actually, before going any further on the costume details, I'm going to color in the vines real quick. Get the greens going. Dude. For folks who may be wondering, hey, didn't you work on this commission before? Don't you have like a deadline to get this done? I spoke with Lynn, the person who commissioned me to make this piece, and they told me they had no set like deadline for me to get this done. They just said, take as much time as you need. It's both the best and worst thing that you can say to an artist who is working on a commission for you. I figure, though, that since I'm caught up on a lot of other stuff, that I'll go ahead and work on this today and make what progress that I can before the weekday properly starts. I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little weird today. Not bad, not good, just here, I'll put it this way. Working with this anthology project, we actually have a publicist helping us with getting the word out about the book, which is the first time I've ever worked with a publicist for a comics project of any sort. And we got, what was the technical term that they used in the email? Run of show. That's it. We got an email today detailing the run of show, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, holy crap. I don't do any of this whenever I'm promoting my own Kickstarters, but maybe I should. And it's a lot of looking at the details of the run of show and realizing that I'm somewhat successful as an indie creator and comic artist, but looking at the run of show for this anthology project from this publicist, I looked at it and I went, I could do things very differently and I might get better results. And on the one hand, it feels weird to be wrong, but on the other hand, it's giving me ideas to pursue to get better. And it makes me want to get better at publicity and marketing my own work. So I want to take the lessons from that run of show document that was forwarded to me, and I want to implement some of the things that were talked about in the run of show document that I got in the email this morning. One of the things I realized is the way that I've been approaching launching a crowdfunding campaign and running a crowdfunding campaign has been backwards compared to standard practice, I guess. Standard practice, if there can be such a thing as standard practice with crowdfunding campaigns. But usually I'll launch a Kickstarter campaign like on the weekend on a Friday to coincide with my email newsletter updates. Because for me, email newsletters are the biggest drivers for pledges on any of my crowdfunding campaigns, whether that's Kickstarter, Crowdfunder, or any other platform. So I try to time it so that crowdfunding campaigns launch the same day that my email newsletters go out, because that drives traffic, and most of my pledges come from my email newsletter anyway. At least in my experience when it comes to my own work. In the run of show document, one of the hot tips that was shared was crowdfunding campaigns get the most funding on weekdays. And I have to look at my other crowdfunding campaigns to see if that tracks. That might be true for other crowdfunding campaigns. But in my experience, this 1 point lines up with what was outlined in the run of show document. The run of show document was like, you're going to get a lot of traffic in the first 3 or 4 days of a crowdfunding campaign getting launched. Sorry, got distracted by the comments. I'll address those in a second. But like, you'll get the most traffic to a crowdfunding campaign in the first like 3 or 4 days of launch. Then it's going to die out. And then in the final 72 hours of a campaign, you'll get a lot of traffic again. So that's why I tend to keep my crowdfunding campaigns on the shorter end of thing, like a week or two. Anyway, let's get to the comments for a second. Chloe had to bow out, but it was good to see you, Chloe. If you have to bow out of this live stream, this will be archived on my YouTube channel. Links for that will be at kelseydcrawford.com. I'll put that up on the screen. YouTube will archive this live stream and save it as a video for you to watch at your own time. So if you have to bow out, that's totally okay. The stream will be available as a replay. Oh dear, Gary, you might not want to do that again, though. I'm not sure that I would trust 2-year-old Pop-Tarts. That sounds like botulism waiting to happen. Okay, I'm going to do a different shade of green for the leaves. At least for now. This is all subject to change. One thing that I have noticed to be true about crowdfunding and crowdfunding campaigns is something that the run of show document confirmed my suspicion about. And I was kind of hoping the opposite would be true, but the run of show document and my own gut feelings are correct. Crowdfunding and signal boosting a crowdfunding campaign really dies out on the weekends. So don't bother spamming followers about your crowdfunding efforts on the weekends, because they're not going to see it. And I have found that to be the case, unfortunately. Because of that, I'm actually changing one thing about something that's happening this weekend. The thing that's happening is usually on the first weekend of the month, I signal boost the heck out of my pin club. The clubs that I run are my alternative to Patreon. I have a lot of issues with Patreon just as a business. So I opted to just run my own alternative. And I don't use Ko-fi for it either, because Ko-fi's system doesn't operate the way that I would like it to for the particular rewards I want to offer. So I just built my own. If you would like to find out more about it, it's actually at kelseydcrawford.com/subscribe. I have 3 clubs: the digital club, the zine club, and the pin club. Usually on the first weekend of a month, I will promote the heck out of the pin club. Reason why is entirely logistics, because I have to order pins from an outside printer. And I get a more accurate count of what to order if there's like a pre-order window for pin club memberships. So I keep the window for new pin club memberships. I keep the window to sign up for those usually just to the first weekend of a month. This month I'm going to extend it for a couple of reasons. First, everything I talked about with noticing that crowdfunding efforts die on the weekends. The second thing being, this month I'm celebrating the 5th anniversary of Fantasyville Productions, my business, being in existence for 5 years, which, heck yes. So glad that it's been operating for 5 years. Survived the pandemic, heck yes. Or at least survived the worst of the pandemic when there were no conventions. So I'm going to extend the window for new pin club memberships. And moving forward, I will be changing how pin club signups work. So instead of the first weekend of a month, I will be extending the pin club memberships for this month into at least Tuesday. I may extend them into Wednesday. But I do want to extend them for a few extra days. But I can't but I feel like I can't extend them for too long, because I do still have to put the order in at the printer and get them in on time so that I can ship them out to backers. By the way, pin club memberships help keep new products and comics going. All the funding from club memberships goes towards making more comics and art happen. This month for the pin club, I'm unveiling a new logo design for Fantasyville Productions. Before, it was just a text-based thing. Now I have an actual like image in mind. And I'll talk about that more towards the end of the stream when I talk about the pin club in more depth. Pin club members get a new acrylic pin plus a zine included with the package and peeks behind the scenes at my stuff, including looking at comic scripts, works in progress, and soon as I figure out the coding for this, early access to my vlogs on YouTube. Okay, so we got the vines done. Huzzah. Now to figure out the trees and grass and what shades of green those are going to be. Pop-Tart break. Actually, let's do a little bit of a paler yellow-green for the trees. Because the trees are actually the tops of grapevines. I'm going to add little spots for grapes. But with that, there we go. I figure a yellow-green would be a nice complement for the lavenders and blues that are going to make up the main character art. I have an idea for those. Okay. Okay, for this one, I gotta cordon off a few things. Or actually, before I do that, I'll color the little tree trunks. I think that would be better. A little on the grayer end. Okay. For this, I'm just going to lasso. Paint bucket again. And I will erase as needed because I forgot that I had the paint bucket set to a really high area scaling to really fill in those gaps. Actually, there we go. Because of that area scaling thing, it actually got rid of the need for erasing all of the remaining little, like, spigots. It's not the technical term, but I'm going to say it's the technical term now. Ooh, let's actually use the paintbrush tip. Let's do rough. Over and brush, 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 brush. Brush, 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 brush. There we go. Oh, almost forgot. You know, it's been a hot second since I posted anything to TikTok. I should probably do something about that. I think I have a time lapse for Be Not a Purd. I will double check. If I do, I'll just post that. Be Not a Purd is my latest, newest print that is available. Link for that is actually going to be on a different place. To find out more about Be Not a Purd, head over to fantasyvilleproductions.com for more info on that. Here's Arch of Winter wanted to ask, did the run of show doc show stats on where the traffic comes from on the weekdays? No, and I will tell you why. Because one, the campaign's not launched yet. Two, as soon as it does, they actually have a system of referral links that they want us to use. As soon as the campaign is live, we can start using those referral links. As we use those links, that will help them track where the traffic is coming from. That's why. Oh, thank you, Jessica. Thank you. And also thank you for hanging out in the chat with us. Happy to see you. Yeah, no, the run of show was, as far as the document goes, I'm going to try to, I covered a lot of points that the run of show doc already covered, but the run of show doc is basically talking about, here are the short story comics that are going to be featured, and these are the publications and online outlets that will feature them. Also, we have a slate of artists who are going to be interviewed by these people on these outlets on these dates. As soon as they go live, here's the process for sharing those links on Twitter. There's whole procedures for this. Because at least with Iron Circus, they've noticed that a good chunk of their pledges come from Twitter. Now, I only just recently got back on Twitter, and by just recently, I mean in the days before Elon Tusk, or whatever his name is, being facetious, Elon Tusk bought the platform and then started to really just drive it into the dirt. So I don't really use Twitter for promotional purposes. Again, in my past experience, email newsletters are the biggest driving sources of traffic to anything that I do. Just goes to show that I run a really good newsletter. Anyway, but for other people, including Iron Circus, Twitter is often their biggest driver of traffic. So there's procedures for doing the best sharing practices on Twitter. And I'm not going to get into that right now because I don't know how well it's going to work. Though I do find it interesting that there was no strategy for using Instagram at all. And I'm not surprised about that. Honestly, I'm giving serious thought to just leaving Instagram as a platform. I only put the app back on my phone maybe like 2 weeks ago. I had removed it for the entire month of December. And for like a good chunk of January, I didn't have the app on my phone. I just used the web browser version. There are limitations to that. One of the big ones being you can't really watch reels on the web browser version of Instagram. Oh no, the travesty. It's not like there's TikTok for that. Anyway, also, I don't entirely know how well TikTok works as far as promotional stuff goes. Because, like, on the one hand, the one time that I did promote a crowdfunding campaign on there were people who signed up through TikTok because they found a TikTok post that I made to promote it and pledged that way. On the other hand, it wasn't a ton compared to my email newsletter. Like, my email newsletter still accounted for the largest chunk of backers. So, and it's my understanding too that TikTok is starting to go through its own process of what one columnist called enshittification. If Ben and I ever get around to actually doing this live stream that we've been talking about for a while, I'll go in more depth about enshittification as a process in that stream. Because I would love to do a stream with Ben about how to promote your work without using social media. Because I don't know if you've noticed, people don't like social media anymore. And I am of the opinion that websites in the past had a life cycle, and it was normal for websites to die. And social media, any kind of social media platform, should fall under those same rules. Social media platforms should just die off. Like, they should go through their life cycle and then just retire off into the sunset and not be used again. Like, people will talk about wanting to get MySpace back, but there's a reason that it died. Ooh, hold on one sec. I just saw the question in the chat. Hold on. Oh, that's actually a good question. Are there people who just browse on a Kickstarter site like they do with social media and throw their money at anything that catches their eyes, like people who just go on shopping spree at a mall? Yes and no. There are people who do that. There are people who use like Kickstarter in particular as kind of like a shopper site, but also Kickstarter is built with the idea in mind of, oh, you backed this campaign, you may also like this one. Kickstarter is built with that kind of programming in mind. Crowdfunder hasn't gotten to that point yet, so I see less of that kind of like shopper mentality on Crowdfunder, but it is present on Kickstarter because Kickstarter has the feature of, you backed this campaign, you may also like that one. It's not a good or bad thing. It's just a function that the website has. Kickstarter does kind of have an incentive to do that, though, because Kickstarter does take a cut from every campaign that runs on their site that successfully funds. Most Kickstarters that launch on the site don't get funded. Like, outside of comics and webcomics, over half of all Kickstarter projects don't get funded. In the comic sphere of things, over half of comic and webcomic projects on Kickstarter get funded. And that's been pretty constant since day one. These are roses, so they're going to have to be shades of red. checking the notes for this particular character. Okay. Sorry, I was checking over the notes that Lynn left me when they put the order in for the commission. I will be consulting the color wheel. This is just the first pass of colors. None of these colors are going to be the final iteration. But I do want to consult the color wheel because there's particular color schemes that could work really well. And I want to make sure that I pick color schemes and color palettes that work the best rather than just throwing colors at the screen. Ooh, I have an idea. Hold on. Just going to outline some of the flowers here. This is not the most elegant outlining that I've ever done, but this is going to make coloring in a large swath so much faster. And we're going to change the paint bucket to refer only to editing layer, and boom, done. Good. Now I can just go in and fix up some of the finer edges. Ooh, eraser end again. So that bled a little bit. I probably could have used the wand tool and inverted the selected area. And I had that thought about partway through. And then I went, nah. Partway through the lassoing process, I had the thought I could just invert the selection with the wand tool. And then I went, no. This will take as long as it needs to. No. Ooh, and there we go. Getting all the little spots, or at least as many spots as I can. There. Oh, missed one. Got it. Okay. Ooh, let's switch over to the navigator just to see the overall picture. All right, all right, all right. Cool, 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 cool. Oh, I'll color in the sky while I'm at it, actually. Wonder if I click on advanced settings, it'll give me like the actual hex code for some of these colors. No, doesn't look like it. Okay. But I do have an idea. I'm going to make a new layer for a second. Because I knew it was going to do that. But there, eyedropper tool, that, and then we're going to delete that layer, get this back. Boom. Because that gave me the color that I needed. And no, I'm not using the wand tool in combination with the gradient tool for the negative space around the vines. That is going to take so dang long. Are you kidding me? No. Just gonna pull Marisha Ray. No. Sometimes the wand tool is not the all fixer-upper that you think it's going to be. No. Oh, missed one. There we go. Something therapeutic to just using the paint bucket tool for me. I remember being a little kid, somewhere between like 5 and 6, and working with early Windows computers because my father was a nerd. We had an early Windows machine, and he and mom would just get the paint program up and let my siblings and me just go ham in the paint program. We would like draw weird squiggles, and then we'd use the paint bucket tool to fill in negative spaces in those squiggles, and that would keep us busy for a little while. That, and I think it was called SimCity 2000 was what we had on our computer. It was either 2000 or 3000. I don't remember which. The iteration with a giant robotic spider climbing out of the city and looking menacingly at the viewer. Because I remember looking at that thing and being like, what would trigger that? How do I get that thing in my city? Never made it work. Never got it to work. Ooh. Color sample that. We're going to do a kind of a grayish variant. Let's make it white. Whitish. Yeah. So I just realized some of these spaces didn't need to be blue. They needed to be mountain colored. There we go. I got it. Again, once we add highlighting to the hair, that'll help make it pop and make it look more silver. In the meantime, we're just doing the color flat stage right now. Save our progress. Okay. Yeah, I'm so glad you love her so much, Lynn. Hello, Clouded Sky Studios. Happy to see you in the comment section. Click on the letter H under the color wheel for hex code. I forgot about that tip. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, SimCity 2000. That's what I thought it was. Thank you for that. I was pretty certain it was SimCity 2000. Lynn, we will be adding more shading and highlights to Shonira's hair to give it a more silvery feel. It's just right now we're doing the color flat stage. We're not adding shadows and highlights quite yet. There we go. We got the swords. We got the background. Now we can do the costumes. Saving progress again. Very important to save your progress, kids. Hi, Boo-Boo. I didn't expect to see you outside of Alex's room. Boo-Boo is not within easy grabbing reach. I cannot show her. I'm sorry. Oh, Reminder, today's tea selection is Tazo glazed lemon loaf with a dash of honey at the bottom. Because I went to bed with a weird feeling in the back of my throat, and I woke up with the weird feeling in my back of my throat, like less present, but still kind of there. And I couldn't tell if it was like a sick trying to sprout up, or if it was just I'm dehydrated, or what it was. Not COVID. I have felt what COVID feels like in the back of the throat before it gets into full-blown COVID-ness. This was not that feeling. Because I remember when I caught it, it's the first symptom that manifested was the weirdest feeling in the back of my throat. And that's the only way that I can describe it. But I know that if I felt it again, I would be like, oh, that's what that is. I have not felt it again since then, but it was so memorable to me that I was like, nope. Also, thank you for your understanding, Lynn. The blues. Let's do the shades of blue for the rest of the costume. I'm thinking dark blue-ish for the dress, and then kind of a paler, almost leathery blue for the for that chest piece. Let's try this one. Oh, I forgot some lines. I was wondering what the heck was up. Yeah, that layer. Cool. Make a new one so that I can add my correcting line. My screen's a little laggy because I also have OBS Studio recording this process while I'm streaming. And my poor little laptop can only handle so many things at once. Eventually, I will get a more powerful computer that can do all of the things at once so that it doesn't lag. But until then, I will make do with what I've got. I'm already preparing for a lot of surprise expenses for this year. The surprise being the loosest word possible for it. My roommate and I are looking at moving out of our current apartment and moving into a new place because we know that our landlords are going to jack up the rent again once our lease is coming to a close. And we can barely handle what our rent is currently. So we're looking for a place that's more budget friendly so that maybe we're not paying more than half of our expenses towards rent. I know that that's a tough ask because a lot of people are paying a lot for rent currently, but we're going to make an effort. We've found one place. It's about the same price that we're currently paying, but the upshot to that is they're not going to be jacking up the rent as soon as the lease goes up, because this is the particular place that we're looking at right now. We are going to be touring it Wednesday. This other place that we're looking at currently, again, in our current price range, if just a teensy bit over, but there's amenities included in there that will actually help us out. Like there are certain utilities that are covered in the rent itself. That'll help out a lot with this place. But we'll see. Shanaira approves of your color choices. Marvelous. If you plan on building a desktop, I have a spare brand new motherboard I can sell for a discount. Holy dang, cool. Thank you. I have not tried building my own computer yet. It's something that I've always wanted to try, but not sure. Because like there's a lot of components that go into building a computer and it can go wrong real fast. Kid Icarus has an entire video about it. Yeah, no, it is not a great time for renters right now. Unfortunately, I don't entirely trust the whole idea of buying a house. Just from my own experience, I'll say this. The people who say that they love owning a house are absolutely willing and able to drop thousands of dollars on a whim to refurbish something in the house that the inspector should have caught in the first place before they bought it. Like the house that I was renting in my old town, I'm surprised that it sold for as much as it did because the foundation, like there was an enormous crack in the basement. It would have failed inspection, and yet it went for like 5 digits. What? And there was a friend of mine, bless his heart. Like he was talking about how much he loves owning the house, and then he fully confessed to paying like $2,000+ to get rid of bats that were in the attic because the inspector didn't catch the bats. And I'm like, what? What? Yeah, this is something that my younger sibling and I have talked about pretty extensively because they are a homeowner. I am a renter. And this was their first home that they ever owned. And they're like, don't do it. It's so expensive. And the only way that you make money on it is if you sell the house. That's the only way that you're going to make money off of it. So whenever people are talking about like, buy a house, you'll get equity. That's only if it sells for more than what you paid for it. There's so much about housing that's just a scam as it currently operates, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Let's just say I am skeptical of home ownership because of my own personal experience. And keep it at that, at least for now. I will say this too, as a renter, I would rather not have to deal with waiting for days on end to get repairs done to the house. I'm going to use my own personal experience for this one. Recently, Alex and I had to have an electrician in the house because we were about to vacuum. She plugs in the vacuum cleaner. She turns it on, and suddenly half of the living room lost power. And we were like, what? So we called up the emergency maintenance phone number that the office gave us. And we were like, something happened to the electricity. We don't know what. And they sent an electrician within like 10 minutes. The guy took a look and he fixed it within 20 minutes. In 30 minutes, we had all of that taken care of and we didn't have to pay for it. I will say that is a really nice thing about being a renter is that you don't have to worry about paying out-of-pocket expenses for home repairs. That's covered in the rent. At least it should be. If it's not, you have rights as a renter. Anyway. Ooh. Just thinking over the layers situation. And like what colors would go where. I remember when I lived in Wheeling, West Virginia, there was actually like a renters union that was being formed because it was so bad. Like the renter situation in Wheeling, West Virginia was so bad. Like there's reasons why I moved to Toledo, and it's because Wheeling, West Virginia, the next city closest to me, had like, woof. It was not good. The housing situation in Wheeling was not good. Last I checked, it may have improved since then, but no, I'd rather not contend with that. Part of the reason that it got so bad in Wheeling was because pipeliners and frackers and the landlords would triple their rent rates to take advantage of all that oil and gas money, because they knew that the people who worked on the pipelines had that kind of money to spend. So a single bedroom apartment with no kitchen, no laundry hookups, no like individual bathroom inside the unit was going for like $1,000+ in the middle of nowhere, which is just bonkers. Yeah, see, Lynn gets it. When our stove caught fire from a bad heating element a couple years ago, we had a replacement piece the next day. Our landlord is good about repairs. Yeah, that's what landlords are supposed to do. If I decide to build a desktop PC, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Gary. Given how poorly how a lot of places are built or kept, the best solution if you have the money is to build a brand new house. And that is why building a house has gotten so expensive. And not to mention the supplying snafus. Lumber costs have gone up. A lot of expenses have gone up. I do agree on some level that building a brand new house just makes more sense. But currently, building a house just costs too much money. Though it is wild to me that in our current market, new house builds are either tiny houses or McMansions with nothing in between. Really says something about the United States as a culture. And honestly, a lot of the housing problems could have been fixed if they had just built like middle income housing. They stopped building new housing units for like middle housing in the 90s. They have not built any new, and when I say middle housing, I mean like smaller apartment buildings or like almost like townhouse situations, sort of a thing, but like not standalone houses, not McMansions, but not apartment buildings that are like 12 stories tall either, but like things in the middle. They stopped building those in the 90s. And they stopped building housing for people of certain income levels in the 90s. And that's why our housing market is kind of fucked right now. There's a lot of reasons why our housing market is fucked right now, but I'm not going to get into that because I'm not an economist. Although economists don't even know what the heck's going on either, because as it turns out, economics is astrology with uglier graphs. Actually, those buttons should be silver. Silvery blue. Again, shades of blue. I'm very opinionated. I don't mind being very opinionated, though. And clearly, most people don't mind me being opinionated either. Though, if you want opinionated, but like factually opinionated, check out the first like minute and a half of Browse Held High's video talking about alternative Christmas movies. first like minute and a half, you're like, aha, that's the kind of channel that you are. Mm-hmm. But like, when he says what he says, I'm like, there's no lie detected. Oh, there's a couple of lines that I missed up in here too. I got to fix that. Okay, I'm going to stream for a few more minutes to try to finish up these color flats. But then I'm going to be wrapping it up pretty soon because I will need a lunch break before my next thing happens in the afternoon. Because I do have a afternoon to do that requires me getting off stream. I'm going to be recording for an episode of The Fourth Leg, a podcast that I am a part of. New episode actually dropped recently. If you would like to find out more about that, just head over to kelseydcrawford.com. I'll put the link up on the screen. kelseydcrawford.com. If you go to the links, the link to The Fourth Leg is going to be there. Okay, I gotta add a few lines. So I forgot to do that. Whoop. Almost dropped the pen. That would have been bad. I just realized the point was at 25. It needs to be smaller to like 20. That's better. Okay, for that, that's kind of a hood part. We're going to have that be this same blue as that part of the robe. Layers. For now, all colors are subject to change. Ooh, that belt can be like a darker blue, sort of black. Get a silver point there. And all right, there's the color flats. We'll be adding some more depth in the next stage. Lynn, if you're still hanging out in the comments section, let me know what you think. I'm gonna do there. Had to stop the recording through OBS. Okay. Ooh, love it so far. Marvelous. Thank you. We hugely appreciate that. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. The nice thing about streaming through StreamYard is I'm able to kind of look at a piece from like an extra step of distance away from it, and looking at it, I think I can change the color of this rose up in the corner. Oh, I missed a leaf. How did I miss a leaf? Well, to be fair, there's a lot of detail in this thing, but we can lighten up this. Make it kind of a more of a carnation-y pink. Hold on. Ooh. I actually like that a lot better. It makes the blues pop out more. What do y'all think? I'm actually really liking it. having those roses being that color, I think helps the purples and the blues pop out more, while also keeping the focus on the figure of Shannira here. What do y'all think? I'm seeing a yes. So that is a vote of confidence right there. I'll take it. Marvelous. Let's save our progress and we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. That way I can hop off, eat lunch, and get ready for recording the podcast. So with all of that, let's go ahead and remove this screen here. I'm going to bring up another screen. I just remembered at the end of every stream, I like to give shout outs to all of my subscribers, through my clubs. One sec, I'm going to get that shout out screen up. I just had it. There it is. Okay. I'm actually going to bring it up through Clip Studio Paint again because it's just easier to upload that way. Okay. Shout out to my subscribers, Rob Bobbeh Z, Erin C, Jessica McIntosh, who was hanging out in the chat with us. Hi, Jessica. Bryce Bargar, Adam Vazquez, Chris Willmore, Raiden, Anonymous. I'm sorry, Anonymous, your name was in like a Cyrillic alphabet when you subscribed on Ko-fi. I'm just calling you Anonymous until I get a proper pronunciation of it. Q Lagerquist, hope I'm saying that right. Andrew Balch, Beh Wright-Heuman, Dave Columbus, and Pat Jade. Everybody give good vibes in Pat Jade's direction. She's in a bit of a pickle right now. That's all I'm going to say about that because she didn't give me the approval to go in more depth about it. She's just in a pickle. Send good vibes her way. Ooh, that's exciting. I already have an idea where she's going to hang. I love statements like that. That is brilliant. Thank you so much. Again, today I drew a commission from my friend Lynn, who was also hanging out in the chat with us. Thank you. I hope you have a lovely day as well. I see your comment. But this was drawn from my buddy Lynn, who commissioned it from me through Ko-fi. If you would like to find out more about commissions, or if you'd like to commission me for something, there's a link in the YouTube description, or you can go to kelseydcrawford.com. There's more information in /links. Other announcements. Tomorrow, a new crowdfunding campaign is going to launch for Failure to Launch, a comics anthology. I do not have an active link for it yet. As soon as it launches tomorrow, I will have a link for it. And when it's ready, I will be posting about it at, there we go, camera, kelseydcrawford.com. The link is going to be there once it's live. Other than that, Vanita and the Demon King successfully funded on Crowdfunder. Thank you, backers, for your support. I have the rewards cataloged. We're going to be working on fulfillments for that next. I do have a limited edition print for sale as well. You can head over to fantasyvilleproductions.com to find out more about that. Info on the screen. The limited edition print is Be Not a Purd, a biblically accurate angel of a cat with multiple heads. It's cool. Check it out. fantasyvilleproductions.com has more information on there. And this Wednesday, The Legend of Jamie Roberts posts a new page in Chapter 8. So be sure to catch that at thelegendofjamieroberts.com. And also, I will be having another live stream this Tuesday at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I almost said a different time zone. That would have been inaccurate. 6 p.m. EST Tuesday, doing another live stream. Wow, I'm getting tongue-tied. I should log off. Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Eat more Pop-Tarts. You are awesome.